Welcome back everyone to the Chassis System Pennsylvania division. It's Scott, and yes, I did change my YouTube channel name largely as a result of Verizon suspending their support for email services. So one thing led to another. Seemed like a good time to make a bunch of different changes. So I am back after a long overdue update for everyone, and while I've been busy working, I haven't really been doing much in terms of doing videos or posting anything on YouTube. So I've got quite a bit to update everyone on, almost entirely scenery related, and finally got the yard ladder done here in Riker Yard in terms of ballast, and I had done the ties and rails previously, but got the yard ladder all ballasted. Have the main line in the back as a passing siding, or which is ultimately a arrival departure track. And you got another kind of hybrid track that can serve as a arrival departure or classification track, and then 3 classification tracks. So tried to create as much flexibility in the track plan as I could. Just do a little pan here. So a little bit of scenery up here, but most of the work has been spent doing the water. So we got the river in. Maybe a touch bluer than I would have liked, but I think it'll look better once all the trees are in. That darker green will help pull it all together. Got our retaining walls in here for the other railroad line that we go over. Following some advice from Rob Bennett's channel, looked at doing some teddy bear fur, so I got some of that painted and installed in the back. Many more trees are needed. I actually have an order for more super trees out of my local hobby shop, waiting for those to come in, so I need another box. But here's some more teddy bear fur, doing the meadows. Still need to work the edges in a little bit on that, but I'm pretty satisfied with how it came out. And I got the creek finished as well. Used Envirotex Light to do the water in both the creek and the river. Have maybe one wire armature tree I'm working on that'll maybe go in this low-lying floodplain area there. And you can see where I am still short on trees, so this whole barren area up here is going to be totally wooded, which will help screen the transition between Riker Yard and C&M Junction, which is only about 8 feet apart. So another thing I did, following Luke Towan's channel, I made myself a static grass applicator. So I've been playing around with that a little bit. Got quite a bit in the yard finished. I think, as I mentioned in a previous video, this yard is, as you can see, fascia is going to go right here. Backdrop is right here. It is at the widest point, maybe 13 or 14 inches. So there's not any room for scenery. So doing the detail work with static grass and weathering some of the ties, even trying to create at least some visual interest here in a very, very narrow, jam-packed, full of track section of railroad. This just gives you a sense of the whole yard. Didn't get the whole yard done, but getting the ladder done was the big challenge. The straight tracks are a lot easier. They go a lot quicker. So I'm going to stoop down here and grab it. So I made a modification to Luke Towan's design. So I used the same handle, but instead of doing a vertical static grass applicator, you can see, don't have a whole lot of room here. I was concerned that a handle on a standard, vertical oriented static grass applicator just wouldn't work between my 2 decks. So I came up with this scenario to use a T, and the added benefit of the T, you can see the metal screen there. The added benefit of the T is you just load the grass from the top. I do have a lid that I put on here, or could put on here, and I just found I don't use it because nothing really no need to use it rather. But you can see the negative ion generator leads are coming out there, so it's really primarily the Luke Towan design, but a little modification I made to make it work on a two deck layout. Gives me a little bit of opportunity to maneuver a little bit better. The other thing I did too is it's only an 1.5 inch PVC tee, most of the, I have a very, very narrow shelf layout, and in most cases, using a large container, it just puts static grass all over the place as opposed to in a narrow pattern. So I found that the narrower basket seems to work, at least for my purposes. So, but works really well. I mean, you can have the negative lead attached to the layout several feet away, and it still stands straight up. Even some of the longer, 6mm grass. Let's see if I can find some. Yeah, here's a pretty tall tuft here. Stands, just works really, really well. I'm going to still try and work on all the other types of scenery that I have been, in terms of the underbrush, and try and minimize how much of the ground foam I use, but I'm still going to do some of it. But I found that, boy, if you can get it to look really nice first and then you add some static grass, it really does create a nice overall effect. Here's a spot where I had only done ground foam, and then I added a little bit of static grass here on the edge and right here in the middle, and just takes it up one level of layering in terms of detail, and I think it really came out very nicely. So that is most of the update for now, but like I said, it's been a lot of scenery work, a lot of tedious work, still more to do, but thought I'd give everyone an update.